For decades, the American Mafia was untouchable. They operated in the shadows. They controlled unions, construction, gambling, and crime. They ruled neighborhoods through fear and loyalty. Police knew who they were, but knowing was not enough. The Mafia survived because no one inside ever talked. Until one man did something no one had ever done before. He went inside. The Mafia was not powerful because of guns. It was powerful because of silence. Members followed one rule above all others: never talk to the police. Breaking this rule meant death. This code was called Omerta. It protected bosses. It protected soldiers. It protected the entire organization. Law enforcement could arrest low-level criminals, but the leadership always stayed safe. For years, the FBI failed to break this system. Then they decided to try something extremely dangerous. In the early 1970s, the FBI realized something important. Wiretaps were limited. Informants were unreliable. Witnesses were terrified. To destroy the Mafia, they needed proof from the inside. They needed someone who could live among mobsters, earn their trust, and survive long enough to expose them. This was not just risky, it was almost suicidal. The FBI selected a special agent named Joseph Pistone. Pistone was not famous, he was not flashy, but he had something rare. He could blend in, he spoke naturally, he understood street culture, he had patience. Most importantly, he was willing to disappear. To infiltrate the Mafia, Pistone had to erase his real life. He became a new person. His undercover identity was Donnie Brasco. Donnie Brasco was a jewel thief, a loner, someone with criminal connections, someone who hated authority. The FBI created a full background for him. Fake records, fake contacts, fake history. If the Mafia checked, everything would look real. Pistone's transformation was not just professional, it was personal. He could not tell his neighbors the truth. He could not explain his absences. He could not be a normal husband or father. He lived two lives, and if those lives ever collided, he would die. Pistone entered the Mafia world slowly. He started in small criminal circles, bars, back rooms, social clubs. He did not rush. In the Mafia, moving too fast attracts suspicion. Trust is earned slowly, through time, money, and silence. Pistone allowed criminals to believe he was useful. He talked about stolen jewelry. He talked about scams. He talked about connections. He never bragged too much. He never asked too many questions. He listened. Listening was his most powerful weapon. Every conversation was dangerous. One wrong phrase could expose him. One wrong reaction could get him killed. Mobsters tested people constantly. They watched body language, tone of voice, reactions under pressure. Piston knew that fear would give him away, so he learned to control it. Eventually, Pistone crossed paths with members of the Bonanno crime family, one of New York's major mafia families. This was a turning point. The Bonannos were violent, they were paranoid, they were powerful. Being noticed by them meant opportunity and death. Pistone caught the attention of a mobster named Lefty Ruggiero. Lefty was not a boss, he was a soldier. He had power on the street, but little respect at the top. Lefty saw something in Donnie Brasco, someone useful, someone loyal, someone desperate to belong. Lefty took Donnie under his wing. This saved Piston's operation and endangered his life. To gain trust, Pistone had to commit crimes, real crimes, stolen goods, illegal deals, violence nearby. The FBI allowed this, but closely monitored it. There was a line he could not cross, but the Mafia did not care about lines. This tension grew every day. Pistone now spent most of his time with men who killed without regret. They talked about murder casually. They joked about violence. They bragged about fear they caused. Pistone had to act comfortable. If he showed shock, he was dead. Undercover work changes people. Pistone lived in constant stress. He slept lightly. He watched exits. He memorized faces. Every meeting could be his last. And still, he had to act normal. Slowly, something dangerous happened. They trusted him. They brought him deeper. They spoke more openly. They introduced him to higher-ranking members. This was success, and it was terrifying. The deeper he went, the harder it would be to escape. There was no safe word, no emergency signal, no instant rescue. If Pistone was exposed, the FBI could not save him in time. He knew this, and he kept going. By the end of this phase, Donnie Brasco was no longer just pretending. The Mafia accepted him. They treated him like one of their own. And once the Mafia accepts you, leaving alive is almost impossible. By the time Donnie Brasco was accepted by the Bonanno crime family, the most dangerous part of the mission had begun. Getting inside was hard. Staying inside was worse, because now Joseph Pistone was no longer just pretending to be a criminal. He was living as one, every single day. In the Mafia, trust is never given freely. It is earned through time, silence, and usefulness. Donnie Brasco had passed the first test. He did not talk too much. He did not ask the wrong questions. He did not panic under pressure. Now came the next test. The Mafia does not ask if you are loyal. They put you in situations where loyalty is the only option. Lefty Ruggiero became Donnie's sponsor. This was critical. In the Mafia, no one rises alone. Someone higher must vouch for you. Lefty introduced Donnie to other soldiers, Mafia hangouts, illegal operations. Lefty trusted Donnie, but that trust was fragile. If Donnie embarrassed Lefty, both of them would suffer. Life inside the Mafia followed a pattern. Long days sitting in social clubs, hours of talking about nothing, sudden bursts of violence or business. Pistone learned that boredom was dangerous. When mobsters are bored, they test people. They ask questions. They push boundaries. They look for weakness. Donnie had to stay sharp at all times. No one teaches you Mafia rules directly. You learn by watching. Donnie learned. Never talk business on the phone. Never ask about murders. Never show interest in bosses. Never appear too smart. Acting dumb, but reliable, was safer than acting clever. At first, Donnie helped with small things. Moving stolen goods, delivering messages, watching locations. These acts built trust. Then the crimes escalated. Donnie was pulled into large theft operations, high-value scams, violent planning meetings. Each step forward made retreat harder. From the outside, FBI handlers saw the danger growing. Pistone was too deep, too trusted, too involved. They worried. He might be forced to commit murder. He might be ordered to hurt someone. He might lose control of the situation. But pulling him out early would destroy years of work. The FBI chose to continue. Donnie witnessed brutal conversations. Men talked about killing like it was a chore. They discussed methods calmly. They joked afterward. Sometimes people Donnie met one day were gone the next. No explanations, no questions allowed. He learned never to ask, "What happened?" Knowing too much was dangerous. Living among killers took a psychological toll. Pistone could not react emotionally. He could not show fear. He could not show anger. Inside, the stress was crushing. He knew that one wrong look could end his life, yet he had to act relaxed. This constant acting blurred reality. Donnie Brasco felt real, even to himself. The Mafia began testing Donnie in subtle ways. They asked him to hold illegal weapons. They asked him to hide stolen goods. They asked him to lie for them. Each test was simple. Refusing any of them would raise suspicion. So he said yes. The FBI had rules. Donnie could participate in crime, but not violence. But the Mafia did not respect FBI rules. At one point, Donnie was dangerously close to being ordered to kill. This was the worst-case scenario. If he refused, he would be exposed. If he agreed, he would cross a line he could never undo. The FBI began planning emergency exits, but there was no safe moment. Despite the danger, Donnie's status grew. He was invited to higher-level meetings, sensitive discussions, mafia celebrations. He was treated like family. This was the FBI's goal, and also their nightmare. The Bonanno family was unstable. There were power struggles, distrust between leaders, fear of informants. Paranoia was everywhere. Mobsters accused each other quietly. If Donnie was suspected even once, he would be killed instantly. Several times, Donnie came close to being discovered. A comment taken the wrong way, a delay in delivering goods, a minor inconsistency in his story. Each time, his heart raced, but he stayed calm. The Mafia watched reactions more than words, and Donnie never broke. Lefty grew emotionally dependent on Donnie. Lefty felt ignored by bosses. He felt disrespected. He felt forgotten. Donnie was loyal. Donnie listened. Donnie made Lefty feel important. This bond protected Donnie, but trapped him deeper. If Donnie betrayed Lefty, Lefty would die, and Donnie knew it. Meanwhile, Pistone's real family suffered. He missed birthdays. He missed holidays. He missed years of normal life. His wife lived in fear. She knew that if his cover was blown, no one could protect him. This mission was not just dangerous, it was isolating. By this point, Donnie heard everything. Drug deals, murder plans, corruption. He memorized details carefully. Names, dates, locations. He passed information secretly to the FBI. This intelligence was priceless and deadly. The deeper Donnie went, the fewer options remained. Leaving suddenly would raise suspicion. Staying longer increased the chance of exposure. The FBI now had enough evidence. But the Mafia did not know that. Not yet. Inside the Mafia, Donnie Brasco was no longer questioned. He was trusted, respected, almost made. This was the final and most dangerous stage. Because once the Mafia fully accepts you, they expect you to stay forever. By the mid-1970s, Donnie Brasco was no longer pretending to be close to the Mafia. He was close, too close. The FBI had what they wanted: years of evidence, recordings, names, and proof of crimes that had never been seen before. But Joseph Pistone was still inside. And inside the Mafia, the final step is the most dangerous one. In the Mafia, there is one moment that changes everything. That moment is when a man is made. Being made means you are officially part of the Mafia. You swear loyalty for life. You can never leave. You can be killed only with permission. For most criminals, this is the highest honor. For an undercover FBI agent, it is a death sentence. And Donnie Brasco was getting close. Mobsters now spoke openly around Donnie. They no longer used code words. They no longer avoided details. They no longer tested him constantly. They trusted him. Some even protected him. This trust was real, and that made it terrifying. Because if the Mafia ever discovered the truth, the betrayal would be unforgivable. Back at FBI headquarters, concern grew. Donnie was too deep, too valuable, too exposed. If he became a made man, pulling him out would raise immediate suspicion, endanger other agents, put him on every Mafia hit list. The FBI knew they had to end the operation soon, but ending it safely was nearly impossible. Before making someone, the Mafia often demands proof. Sometimes that proof is violence. Sometimes it is murder. Pistone knew this. Every day he woke up knowing, today might be the day they ask me to kill. If that happened, there would be no good outcome. Refusing would expose him. Accepting would destroy him morally and legally. This fear followed him constantly. At one point, Donnie was asked to take part in plans that involved serious violence. The details were vague, but the intention was clear. The Mafia wanted to see if he would follow orders. The FBI intervened quietly. They delayed. They redirected. They bought time. But time was running out. At the same time, the Bonanno family was falling apart from the inside. There were power struggles. Leaders were suspicious of each other. Rumors of informants spread constantly. Paranoia filled the air. This made everything more dangerous. In a paranoid organization, accusations come fast, and punishment comes faster. Donnie came close to being exposed more than once. A mobster questioned his background. Another asked about his past in detail. Someone noticed inconsistencies that were small, but worrying. Each time Donnie stayed calm. He answered simply. He never over-explained. He never acted nervous. These moments could have ended his life instantly. One of the heaviest burdens Pistone carried was emotional. The men around him trusted him. They confided in him. They protected him. They considered him one of their own. Especially Lefty Ruggiero. Lefty believed Donnie was loyal. Pistone knew that when the truth came out, Lefty would pay the price. This knowledge haunted him. Eventually, the FBI made a final call. They had enough evidence. More than enough. Continuing the operation would only increase the risk of Pistone being killed. The decision was made. Donnie Brasco would be pulled out. But even this was dangerous. You cannot simply walk away from the Mafia. There was no dramatic escape, no rescue team, no gunfight. Pistone's exit was quiet. He slowly reduced contact. He stopped showing up. He disappeared. To the Mafia, it looked strange, but not immediately suspicious. Then, the arrests began. When Mafia members were arrested and put on trial, they heard something unbelievable. Donnie Brasco was not a criminal. He was an FBI agent. The reaction inside the Mafia was explosive. Shock, rage, humiliation. The Mafia had been infiltrated at the deepest level. This had never happened before. For the Mafia, this was not just a legal disaster. It was a psychological one. Their greatest strength, silence and loyalty, had been broken. They had trusted the wrong man, and in their world, betrayal must be punished. Lefty Ruggiero paid the highest price. He had sponsored Donnie. He had vouched for him. He had brought him inside. In the Mafia, that meant only one thing. Lefty disappeared. It is widely believed he was killed. Pistone carried this guilt for the rest of his life. The FBI revealed the operation publicly. It shocked the nation. An agent had lived inside the Mafia for years. He had attended meetings. He had witnessed crimes. He had survived. The operation became legendary. Because of Pistone's work, over 100 mobsters were convicted. 5 major Mafia families were damaged. Leadership structures collapsed. For the first time, the Mafia was forced into the open. Their secrecy was gone. Joseph Pistone could never return to normal life. His face was known. His story was public. His safety was always uncertain. He lived under protection. The undercover life had ended, but the danger had not. Pistone struggled with the consequences. He had lived a lie for years. He had formed real bonds under false pretenses. He had survived when others did not. This kind of work leaves scars, not physical ones, psychological ones. The Donnie Brasco operation changed everything. After it, undercover work expanded. Organized crime investigations improved. The Mafia lost its untouchable image. Law enforcement learned that infiltration worked, but it came at a high cost. The arrests were not the end. Trials were coming. Sentences were coming. The Mafia was wounded, but not dead. And Pistone's story was not finished yet. When Donnie Brasco disappeared from the Mafia world, the danger did not end. In many ways, it only changed shape. Because now the truth was out. And that truth would shake the Mafia, the courts, and one man's life forever. That man was Joseph. After Pistone was pulled out, the FBI moved quickly. They had years of information. Names, crimes locations, hierarchies, conversations. This was not guesswork. This was inside knowledge. One by one, Mafia members were arrested. Some were shocked. Some were silent. Some immediately understood what had happened. They all asked the same question. How did the FBI know so much? The places where mobsters once sat comfortably, bars, clubs, back rooms, were replaced by courtrooms. Now they faced prosecutors, evidence, witnesses, long prison sentences. For decades, Mafia leaders believed they were untouchable. Now, they were exposed. What made these cases different was not just the number of arrests. It was the quality of the evidence. Pistone had witnessed crimes, directly participated in illegal operations, heard confessions, seen leadership decisions. This evidence was detailed, accurate, and devastating. Defense lawyers struggled. The Mafia's usual tricks did not work. The Mafia's code of silence had protected it for generations, but Donnie Brasco proved something frightening. Silence can be broken without an informant. You don't need someone to talk afterward, if you listen while they speak freely. This realization terrified organized crime groups, because it meant they could never be sure again. Many Mafia members were convicted. Some received long prison terms, life sentences, financial ruin. Entire crews were dismantled. Power structures collapsed. For the first time, Mafia families lost not just members, but confidence. Inside organized crime, the Donnie Brasco operation caused panic. They tightened rules. They reduced trust. They became more violent internally. Paranoia replaced loyalty. And paranoia weakens organizations. The Mafia survived, but it was permanently damaged. While the FBI celebrated, Pistone faced a different reality. He could not return to undercover work. He could not live anonymously. He could not go back to the life he had before. His face was known. His story was public. His safety was always uncertain. Pistone lived with constant awareness. Awareness of possible revenge, old enemies, lingering danger. He changed routines. He stayed alert. The undercover mission was over, but the risk never fully disappeared. One of the hardest burdens Pistone carried was emotional. He had betrayed men who trusted him. Those men were criminals, but trust was real. Lefty Ruggiero in particular haunted him. Lefty had protected him, believed in him, defended him. Pistone knew Lefty likely paid with his life. This knowledge stayed with him forever. Inside the FBI, the operation was studied deeply. They asked what worked, what failed, what risks were too high. The conclusion was clear. The operation was a success, but nearly fatal. It proved infiltration worked, but it also proved how dangerous it was. After Donnie Brasco, undercover training improved. Psychological support increased risk. Limits were reconsidered. Agencies learned that long-term undercover work changes people. It cannot be done lightly. When the story became public, the reaction was intense. People were shocked. An FBI agent had lived with the Mafia for years and survived. Books were written. Movies were made. Donnie Brasco became a legend. But legends hide pain. Movies showed cool confidence, clever dialogue, dramatic moments. Reality was different. Reality was fear, isolation, moral conflict, constant danger. Pistone later explained that undercover life is not exciting. It is exhausting. After retiring, Pistone spoke publicly, not to glorify the Mafia, not to glorify himself, but to warn others. He spoke about the psychological toll, the dangers of long-term deception, the cost to families. His message was clear. This work saves lives, but it destroys parts of the people who do it. Decades later, the Donnie Brasco operation is still studied because it answered a question that once seemed impossible. Can the Mafia be penetrated? The answer was yes, but the cost was extreme. The Mafia did not disappear, but it was never the same. Power faded, fear weakened, influence shrank. The myth of invincibility was broken, and once broken, it never returned. Joseph Pistone was not a superhero. He was not fearless. He was a man who accepted fear and kept going. He did not win because he was stronger. He won because he was patient, observant, and disciplined. And because he was willing to lose his old life to stop something worse. The story of Donnie Brasco is not just about crime. It is about identity. What happens when you pretend for so long that the pretending almost becomes real? What happens when survival requires betrayal? These are questions with no easy answers. The true legacy of this operation is not arrests or convictions. It is awareness. Awareness that criminal organizations are built on trust. Trust can be manipulated. No system is unbreakable, but also that breaking such systems demands sacrifice. The FBI agent who infiltrated the Mafia succeeded, but he paid a price that never fully disappeared. This is why his story still matters, not as entertainment, but as a reminder of what it truly costs to go inside the darkness and come back alive.